How's it going today? I wanted to talk today a little bit about the clothes that I pack. We're getting closer and closer to this trip. I want to show the number of clothes that I bring and why I bring some of them, why I don't bring other stuff, the approximate amount, and try and give you all an idea about how much stuff you should bring along on the trip. The trip that we're taking this year is going to be a 7-day, 6-night trip. The start and end days are kind of like partial days, but it's 6 nights on the trail. And so that just gives you an idea of what this is. These clothes could be different. For this trip, we're going to Picture Rocks National Lakeshore. That trip's going to look different if we had the same length of trip than if we were like in the Grand Tetons or in Rocky Mountain National Park, that type of thing. So anyway, let's get started. So let's start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stuff that I'm going to pack and I'm just going to throw right in my stuff sack, and then we'll show you what that looks like at the end. So let's start with the extra clothes that I'm going to bring that I'm not going to need right away. I want to put those in the bottom of my pack. So what does that include? That includes an extra pair of compression underwear and an extra pair of liner socks and one extra pair of hiking socks. These I'm going to take and I'm going to put these right in the bottom of the pack. Some people will wonder, well, is that all you're going to bring? And, for me, this is what works. Women tend to bring a few more pairs of underwear, and that's okay. They should for that. But the compression underwear, so that your legs don't rub together, things like that is a good idea to have. So those are things I'm going to put in the bottom. Typically what I'll do is after a couple of days, I'll rotate my socks. If they get wet or muddy, then I might rotate them sooner. But, the liner socks are real easy to wash on the trail, hang up to dry, or hang on the outside of your pack and have them ready. The hiking socks tend to take a little bit more, so I don't wash those unless I absolutely have to. Something else I'm going to bring on this trip, I don't very often bring this. We're going to get a couple chances to go swimming. I got a swimsuit. For the last time we were up there, we had all guys, and so we just kind of swam in our compression shorts, or we had our hiking shorts on that were going to dry out in an hour or two, and that worked out pretty well. But since we've got we got males and females going in this one, I'm going to bring a swimsuit. I just think it'd be more appropriate. This is my spare pair of hiking pants. There are those people that'll say, don't bring a spare pair of hiking pants. I've had pants ripped before, and I am not a seamstress. And so, it's good. I think it's good to have an extra pair. They're very lightweight. They're just, they just work well for me. Typically, again, I will probably put these on maybe halfway through the trip, or, maybe I'll wear these as in-camp pants, that type of thing. But for me, I like to pack an extra pair of pants. It's just, it just works well for me. So looking over my gear here, that's pretty much the stuff that I don't need to get at right away. And so that's in the bottom of my stuff sack. It's not to say I won't repack this, but that's how it goes. Now there's other clothes that I'm going to need to get at more often, or that I'm going to need once we get to camp, or when it's cooler out, that type of thing. And so I'm going to put those in next. So here's my hooded sweatshirt. You've seen this in a couple other videos. This is, just for cooler weather. There have been trips I have not brought this. It's possible for this one I might not bring it. The lows aren't expected to be much below 60 degrees, so I may forego bringing this. We'll just have to see what it looks like as it gets closer to the trip. I've got a long sleeve cotton shirt. I like these, what do they call them? These quarter button down t-shirts. This is really nice. It's loose fitting. I could put it on. This is really nice when I'm like hiking in the mountains and we take a break and it's fairly cool out. I could just throw this on right over my poly shirt and I can get warm pretty quick right away. And again, because my poly shirt's wicking the moisture away, this works out really well and I can stay warm pretty quickly. Otherwise, it's primarily a camp shirt that I can wear around camp. But this is one that I saved just for this purpose. It's just been a really nice shirt for this. I like to wear socks underneath my camp shoes, and these are my camp shoes right here. As you can see, they're closed-toed. That's a rule that we have on our trips. Other people maybe do different things, but the reason that we do closed-toed is because if you're walking through camp and all of a sudden you trip and a stick goes in there and nails the webbing of your toes, you might have a foot injury that may be really difficult to recover from. So we always just require that people have closed-toed shoes of some kind. But you can notice, since they're still sandals, there's holes in them. And that's a great spot for mosquitoes to try and attack you. So that's why I bring the socks. It protects you a little bit. You still get mosquito bites through them from time to time, but it's not just bare flesh sitting out there waiting for the demons to come in and get you. So again, These are something I'll get at. I use them every day. And so these will also go in there. The camp shoes I may not put in the stuff sack. Sometimes I stick those in another part of the backpack because they don't compress as well as the clothes. And so this may go like in the bottom compartment with my sleep gear, like my sleeping bag and my mattress pad or pillow and that type of thing could go in the bottom there. It fits really nicely. Then I've got my sleep gear. So this, again, different people do different things. This is what I find works for me. I got a pair of smart wool socks. These are only for sleeping in. That's so that, you know, they're never damp. I mean, they'll get a little damp because you've got them on your feet, but they're not going to be out that you're hiking socks and you're putting into the rotation there. This is only for sleeping. I also have a very lightweight fleece pants. These are probably half the weight, it feels like, of some of the other fleece pants that you might typically find. I just got lucky and found a really lightweight pair. And then I've got a shirt here that I wear. Occasionally I could also wear this if I needed it. I could also wear this, you know, if I needed to for a long sleeve shirt if we got some colder weather. But I tend to reserve this for sleeping. It's loose fitting, which is really nice. It's long sleeve, you know, which can be nice in the evenings. But it's a poly material, and so it's going to wick that moisture away from my skin. So if it is a warm night and I'm sweating, I'm not going to be like laying there in a cotton shirt, you know, all sweaty and things like that. Bandanas. I will probably have about 3 or 4 of these on the trip. I use them for different things. You know, one, you know, some of the obvious reasons, you know, for blowing your nose. But I also have one that I hang on my pack that as I'm walking, I just simply wipe my face with it. And you might notice that in some of the videos, you'll see the bandana hanging there. That's so that I can wipe my face because, you know, you get pretty sweaty. And if you get sweat in your eyes and you're in a tough spot, it's nice to have this to kind of wipe off. But there's other uses for them too. I've used these as like a makeshift knee brace, you know, if like my knees bugging me and I didn't bring my knee straps or, you know, whatever, my knee straps are irritating my legs. These are nice and soft and they work for that. There's about 101 uses for bandanas. I would recommend that you bring at least 1 or 2 on the trip. And then I also do tend to bring a stocking cap. This is nice for sleeping in, but it's nice when you're in camp. If it's a little bit cool, it's also the one I have right here is really good at keeping the bugs off. So if you don't want to be swatting your head all night long, you can do that. You can put this on, and it's nice because you can also put your headlamp over the top of it, and it works out really well. It's pretty warm, and some nights I will wind up sleeping in this, and it works really well for that as well. The other nice thing about it is I sleep with earplugs, and if I pull it down, it keeps the earplugs from falling out in the middle of the night. And last but not least, I got my trusty wide-brimmed hat. This is one, I think I may have mentioned it in another video. I picked this up about 20 years ago. I was at a fishing expo that I happened to be working at for the company I was working at the time. And this is a Barma hat. It's made out of kangaroo hide. It's lasted for 20 years and it's been going strong. The nice thing I really like about this thing is it's compactable. And so you can just roll it up like this. You can throw it in your pack if you want to. Otherwise, you can just wear it all day long or put it somewhere else. You know, it seems like it'd be really warm, but I'll tell you, there's nothing like this thing knocking the heat off when you're out on the trail. Definitely bring a wide-brimmed hat of some sort. This is my preferred one, but I see other people with kind of the more rigid hats. Whatever works for you, but just wide-brimmed hats. Keep that sun off your face. You're out on the trail, especially if you're prone to skin cancer and stuff like that. You want to protect your skin as much as possible and the top of your head. That's my entire amount of clothes. It seems like a lot, but I've got this compression stuff stack, which is really nice. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it up. And this is nice because I can push the air out of it as well. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually put this in my pack before I cinch it, and that way it will conform to the shape of my pack and I can get all that air out that way, and then I clamp it together. And so, you know, it seems like a lot of room, but that's all my clothes. And so this fits really nicely into the pack, kind of, you know, down in the bottom of the main compartment, you know, above your sleep compartment. The other thing that's really nice about this is in the evening when I'm in the tent, I can pull out, you know, I pulled out a lot of clothes. There's a few clothes in there. I put a little air in there and I can use this as an additional pillow to help brace myself up. Or if I'm having problems with my feet, I can use it. I can put it under my feet and elevate my feet a little bit. So there's just lots of uses for it as well. I know a lot of people I've been hearing lately talk about, getting rid of your stuff sacks and things like that. 1 or 2 isn't going to hurt. This keeps my clothes dry, keeps them compact, and I think this is something that's really well worth your effort to put it into your bag. See, here's what I meant by the bandana, using it to wipe your sweat, something like that. It really helps out a lot. I also realized at the end that there was one piece of clothing that I didn't have in my bag there. It was an extra shirt like this. Mine's in the laundry at home, and so I forgot about it. But I have another poly shirt that I bring along, so I have, again, I wear one and I pack one. We'll see you on the trail. And so I wanted to show the number of clothes I bring, and kind of we'll see you on the trail. 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 Boom.